Make sure, there we go. All right. Begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the November 4th meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. Good morning, Commissioner Cook.
Good morning.
Morning, Commissioner Archer.
Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Clerk, and let's begin.
Okay, the first item is item 3, consent agenda.
Are there questions on the consent agenda?
Motion to approve consent agenda as presented.
There's a motion by Commissioner Cook,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk, number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Madam Chair, this morning we have one set of vouchers dated November 1, 2013, total amount of $1,712,913.08. I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers as presented.
Second.
There's a motion by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
Move approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item A3, consider approval of resolution number 2013-145, authorizing the county clerk to cancel a check. And this was a check to Beverly King Post, and it was, the check was lost, misplaced, whatever. It was, we checked, it had not been cashed. She paid the $10, and we would like to ask that it be canceled.
Have there been other instances where she has not received the check?
I don't, it was.
Or
it's
it just
motor
misplaced,
vehicle, I
or?
don't- Mr. Ma might be able to answer it, because it was actually from the motor vehicle fund, and they did the legwork, even though it was a voucher check, so he could
Oh, okay.
could maybe answer the question on that.
There wasn't a concern with address or anything like that? It was just misplaced?
Well, what happened, I think, is that we signed a new contract and had a new address that went to her business, and in the process, the check got lost.
Okay.
So she never cashed it. It was the monthly rental for the annex.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the
Okay.
resolution. And
There's-
note that it was $3,500.
Yeah, that's the monthly.
Yeah. okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I'll second, but I do have a question.
Yes.
We're canceling the check, but there's no provision for reissuing it.
Yeah, it doesn't
It-
state so on it.
Oh, I don't.
They should reissue that check. That's the monthly
Yeah,
rental.
it just says cancel and not
Okay,
reissue.
I'd have to double check on that, but it was, you didn't reissue it through motor vehicle?
No,
through
no, we would go through the same
Okay,
process.
Okay, well, then it would be a cancel and a reissue.
And a reissue.
Mhm.
Will you amend your motion?
To be a cancel.
Yes.
and reissue, okay.
Yeah,
Then
good
I'll-
motion.
I'll second the amended motion.
Okay. It's a motion by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Item B, District Court number 1, consider authorization and execution of Contract C 512-2013, addendum to Contract C 399-2012 for services essential to fully integrate the court's document management system to the statewide electronic filing case management system at a cost of $12,000, and Contract C 513-2013 for services to incorporate the business rules unique to the batch filing components into the state of Kansas electronic filing system at a cost of $13,000.
That pretty well explains it. Good morning.
Good morning,
Stephanie
Stephanie.
Teal, Director of IT for the Shawnee County District Court. Commissioners, do you have any questions?
Do not motion to approve the expenditures?
No questions at this time?
No.
There's a motion by Commissioner
I'll
Cook.
second the motion.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
3-0. Thank you.
Item C, corrections, number 1, consider approval of request to accept bid for the of Midwest Coating, Inc. for replacement of work-through building roof at a cost of $30,351.20.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eve Kendall, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. Before you have the request to approve the project for $30,351.20, which was well under our proposed $45,000 for the new roof for the work crew building. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
And Eve, this is recommended to come out of capital improvement fund dollars?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct? Okay,
And we had talked to Betty already, and
thank you. I'll move approval of the request. Is there a second?
I'll second, and I did have a question. We estimated it'd be 45,000, and it's a little over 30,000. Did we just really overestimate, or did we get a great deal?
yes, sir. Actually, the company that we asked about it to begin with, they told us it'd be around 45,000. I don't even think they even put in a bid for the actual project. But the other vendors that did, I guess they figured they can do it either faster or something to make it less money. But we're happy that it's lower than what we thought.
Yeah, Midwest Coating is a local company
Yes,
with
sir.
a great reputation, so I'm very happy to say.
We've had them work for us before,
Yeah.
and we've been very happy with their work.
Absolutely.
And it ranged from 55 to 45, 42, so it's kind of right in that area. Okay. Any further questions?
No.
All those in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item C2, consider authorization and execution of contract C514-2013 with Swank Motion Pictures, Inc., authorizing the Corrections Department to show video presentations to inmates and juveniles without violating licensing restrictions in an amount of $1,697.35.
Again, Commissioners, Eve Kendall. This is, when you rent a DVD and you see, not to be shown other than in your personal personal home. We don't want to violate that provision on the movies, so we go through and contract through Swank every year. The inmates pay for this through their inmate commissary funds, which part of their prices that they pay goes towards the account. So this has no effect on our budget. If you have any questions.
Thank you. I have
Motion
none.
to approve.
There's a motion to approve by Commissioner Archer
Second.
and second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item D, Public Works Solid Waste, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C515-2013 with Wabansie County to participate in costs necessary to replace the Southwest Carlson Road Bridge over Mission Creek.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Block with Public Works and Solid Waste. This is a Public Works item. As you recall, a few weeks ago, we were notified from the Kansas Department of Transportation that we are going to be receiving some grant funding to replace a truss bridge on Southwest Carlson Road, which is about a half-mile west and a half-mile south of the town of Dover. This particular bridge is located on the county line, so anytime there's a bridge on the county line, there's a state statute that provides for cost sharing of the bridge replacement between the counties that are involved. In this particular case, since we're receiving grant funding, essentially the 20-80 split, or the participating counties would essentially pick up 20% of the cost. That 20% will now then be split between Shawnee County and Wabansie County, which is then determined by the evaluations in each county. So this is an agreement that spells out how that cost sharing will be for that 20% of the local match that we will be providing for this project. So if there's any questions regarding this, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
And Tom, as noted here, except for the right-of-way and utility adjustments,
Correct.
that's 100% then, dependent on the county?
Yes. Shawnee County will pay for 100% of the right-of-way that we need to acquire within Shawnee County, and Wabansie County will pay for 100% of the right-of-way that's required to be obtained in their county.
Okay. Are there any questions? I'll move approval of the contract.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. Do you have a question?
No, I do
Commissioner
not.
Cook? Okay. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item D2, consider authorization and execution of contract C516-2013 with Salina Blueprint and Micrographic Systems for annual maintenance of the KIP 2080 large format scanner at a cost of $1,675.
Commissioners, Tom Block again with Public Works and Solid Waste. This too is a Public Works item. We have a our scanner in our office that we use to scan into electronic format several documents like subdivision plats and other types of drawings. We also utilize this scanner for other departments that are located in the annex. This piece of equipment requires annual maintenance and on-call maintenance at times. And this scanner we have received or gotten from Salina Blueprint, and this is just the maintenance agreement, the annual maintenance agreement to continue on with their maintenance. So if there's any questions regarding this, we're happy to try to answer them.
Thanks, Tom. So all the departments at the North Annex have the ability to use
Yes.
this, right? Okay.
Motion to approve annual maintenance agreement.
There's a motion by Commissioner Cook,
Second.
second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item D3, consider authorization and execution of contract C517-2013 with Crooked Post Ranch LLC, James and Michael Bassett Partners for acquisition of easements for the Southwest Docking Road Bridge over Mission Creek project in an amount of $5,579.
Commissioners, Tom Block again with Public Works and Solid Waste. This too is a Public Works item. Next year, we will be replacing another bridge as identified. It is also a truss bridge. We went out and had the right-of-way that we need to require to construct a bridge appraised, and an agreement worked out with the Bassetts to acquire this right-of-way. And that is the amount that we have come to an agreement. We feel it's a fair price, and it is our recommendation that we enter into this agreement to acquire the right-of-way for the project. So if there's any questions regarding this, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Thank you. Is anyone here on behalf of the Bassetts or not?
I'm not aware of any.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Item E, Health Agency, number 1, consider approval of request to fill an Office Assistant 2 position in the Community Health Center at a total salary of $32,302.60, which includes benefits, and approval to fill any subsequent positions that become vacant from filling this position.
Good morning, Commissioners. Alice Weingartner, Health Agency. This position works in our front desk, so they're the check-in and check-out. They're the first face that our clients see when they come in for care. So we're asking to fill this position due to the resignation of the previous person who held the position. And I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
Alice, is it the main clinic or California clinic?
This one is actually at the main clinic,
Main.
but all of our positions do rotate to keep coverage at an adequate level at all of our locations.
Thank you. Move approval of the request. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Item F, Parks and Recreation, number 1, consider approval of request to issue letters of interest for the operation, management, and ownership of the Juan Poppy Abbott Community Center.
Morning, Commissioners. John Nye, Parks and Recreation. You'll recall back in September, we held public meetings at the Abbott Community Center trying to gauge interest from the public. This is an important facility for the community over there around the Abbott Community Center. Staff has decided they'd like to take letters of interest to help form either a partnership or ownership of the building to a different group. Quite simply, Parks and Recreation, as I've heard up here many times from the county commissioner, don't have the money to keep it open. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
In this way, John, it gives everybody the fair chance to submit whatever they would like to do if
Yes,
there's a community group out there.
No one would be precluded from putting in a proposal.
Mhm.
It wouldn't stop us from putting several groups together that may not quite be able to do the whole thing themselves.
Mhm.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Cook?
John, in no way does this mean that we are necessarily jumping to the sale of the community center.
Oh, no, that's just one of the options.
Okay. So if, and as you indicated, if there were maybe 3 or 4 groups that together could collaboratively use the facility, they would be able to maybe express their letters of interest. The county could work with them to find an agreement for the use of that community center.
Absolutely.
And so this is really just to see what the interest is in the community, to who might be interested in the facility.
Yeah, there are several groups that have expressed interest. This actually ties it down and gets them to begin to put together these partnerships so we can move forward.
John, who reviews the proposals then?
I'm assuming that this would be, there's a resolution for professional services. I'm assuming that you'd like to use that same group, which includes the Director of Public Works, the Director of Information Technology, and the Director of Facilities, which would be me. And then staff also would review all the proposals and make some comments and stuff before it's sent to that group.
Rich, do you have a comment?
Well, just that's fine if you want that committee to review it, but that's not in the purview of that committee. That's not what they're there for. They're for professional services when we go out for like architects and contractors and engineers. So if you want to, I think you need a special vote to make sure that that's the committee you want it to go to, or you're free to form your own committee, whatever you would like to do.
I don't necessarily believe that it needs to go to that committee. I think Parks and Recreation has the personnel to make a good decision on, to make a recommendation to the commissioners, but that's up to the commission.
Yeah, and I didn't see it noted that it would go to committee, that it would be just Parks and Recreation providing those recommendations, so I'm comfortable with that.
Yes.
As in mine.
Question, Commissioner?
John, would this have any impact on the spray park at Samuel Jackson? Is there any talk about how this might impact that? I know they're right next to each other, and a lot of times
If it was a partnership, would believe the county would have a little bit more control and could lean on whoever the partners are to make sure that it is open for the restrooms and those type of things for people using the Samuel Jackson. If it ends up coming back, the recommendation is to sell it. I think we have less control over something like that, but we would entertain a proposal that would include the parklands and stuff around there. However, I think the building probably has more interest to the public than what the spray ground does.
well, and I agree, but there has been controversy in the past over people not being able to use the facilities at Abbott when they were at the spray park. I just don't think that's right. I never did. So I would make sure you cover that in any partnership we have.
Yeah, it would be in any partnership we had. Like I said, though, if it comes to a sale, I don't know that we have that same kind of control.
Exactly, I understand.
Thank you.
Motion to issue letters of interest to the Juan Poppy Abbott Community Center.
There's a motion by Commissioner Cook.
And I'll second, but I will note that it does include the possibility that we may sell the facility.
Exactly.
So I'll make sure that's clear for the record. I'll second.
Correct.
Another important point is I think it's November the 13th, Randy has a pre-bid meeting in which all the groups can come back in and we can talk some more about all of those type of things at the Abbott Community Center too.
Okay.
So.
All right, thank you. There's a motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Archer.
Did you want
Yes.
to include setting a committee for the,
No.
to review that?
I don't believe that was in the motion.
I don't think it's necessary.
No. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item G, Information Technology. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C 518-2013 with Alexander Open Systems for performing monitoring services and maintenance for the core switches in the county network at a cost of $6,848.70.
Good morning, Commissioners. Pat O'Bliner with the Information Technology Department. The item before you here is renewal of the maintenance for the core switches for our network that supports the traffic between all the computer systems and all the buildings in the county. We've got a little additional wrinkle this year. We're adding some monitoring services to the usual maintenance contract. This just puts another eye on the health of the switches and provides us an early warning if something appears to be amiss with those. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer those at this time.
Thank you, Pat.
Motion to approve the maintenance agreement with Alexander Open Systems.
There's a motion by Commissioner
Second.
Cook, second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you,
Beth.
Commissioners.
Item H, Weed Department, number 1, consider approval of request to solicit bids for weed control, noxious weed control herbicides.
Morning, Commissioners. John Cavis from your Shawnee County Weed Department. This would be a request to solicit bids for herbicides. We do this in the spring, but when we do it in the spring, we note that we do not allow them to escalate their price for 3 months. We do that for the purpose that they will give us a good price. In most years, they'll honor that price, but in years of inflation, they will not. So we need to rebid and establish prices and purchase some herbicide. This herbicide will be used for landowners to cost share on their noxious weed concerns.
Thank you, John. Any questions from the commission?
I'll make a motion to approve the request.
There's a motion by Commissioner Archer.
Second.
And second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item I, Audit Finance, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C 519-2013 with Cochran Hedvick and Company, PA, to perform the audit of Shawnee County and the Shawnee County Health Agency for the year ending December 31st, 2013, at a total cost of $94,400.
Morning, Betty Griner, Financial Administrator. I'm just asking for your approval for us to engage the services of Cochran Hedvick and Company for the 2013 audit. That audit will be for the Shawnee County as well as for the health agency. We went out for bids for audit services for the 2012 audit.
Mm-hmm.
It's my recommendation that we wait several years in between each bid process, and unless there's some reason that we're unhappy, that we do that every 4 to 5 years, something like that, so we can maintain that consistency and those efficiencies of working with that audit group. I was very pleased with the professionalism of our auditors this last year. Felt like they did a very thorough job, so that's why I'm recommending that we go back to them. We've negotiated a price with them, and that total price is $94,400. That is $11,387,000 less than for the 2012, which is also like 11% decrease. A lot of that is because of the Parks and Rec merger. Since that was handled in 2012, that will not be an issue. We also had an issue that we really needed to investigate on the Parks and Rec Foundation and the endowment as to whether that was part of the county or not. So those were extras that we will not have going forward. I also believe that the employees in my department have worked very hard to get some efficiencies and to work well with the auditors to help save some time there. We're also changing the timing for the final audit. We have moved that date up by this engagement letter to July 1 of 2014. It's our goal to continue to move that up so that after the end of the year, we're getting that audit done in a more timely basis. I mean, it's still well within the statutory requirements, mm-hmm. but for us as a department to get that worked in, if my thought is if we can concentrate on the audit and then move and concentrate on the budget,
Yeah.
that we're not trying to do those both at the same time. I think that's just a more efficient use of our staff.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the funding for this, the Shawnee County portion, of course, comes out of the general expenses budget. The health agency portion comes out of their budget. I've discussed this with them, and they are in agreement with this. This also includes consulting, 30 hours of consulting throughout the year, so that if we have a question, we can go to them and ask it as it comes up. So we're not waiting till the end of the year to figure out exactly how to handle some of these things. I have had the counselor's office review this for legality and form, and they have approved that also. So, we have representatives from the auditors here if you have any questions for them, but I would recommend that you approve this.
Betty, have you received correspondence from any other company requesting the opportunity to bid on this? Or, I mean, I know that it was open in 2012.
No, I have not during this year.
Since this, this agenda went out.
No, I did not contact
Sure,
anyone else,
sure.
but no, I
Right.
did not receive any.
Just public notice. Okay. Are there further questions? Is there anyone in the audience wanting to make any comments on this item? Okay. And what's the intention of the commission?
Motion to approve the audit to be awarded to Cochran, Head and Vic and Co.
There's a
Second.
motion by Commissioner Cook and second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item I2, consider authorization and execution of contract C 520-2013 with ACL for internal auditing software at a cost of $1,200 per year.
I'm asking your approval to purchase this ACL internal auditing software. Sarah Crick, our internal auditor, is here with me, and we are starting to get this process, I want to say, in full swing. And one of the things we needed to do was to have an internal audit program. And this will facilitate her work in many different areas, and I'll kind of go through those in a minute. But she started out by identifying 7 companies that met our criteria, then narrowed that down to the 3 best, and then she and I, went through those recommendations, and this is the one we are recommending. This software will assist in, these are the items, kind of the bullet points I have here. They will assist in providing assurance over financial controls, managing risk, addressing compliance requirements, plan, collaborate, and document audit findings, audit transactions, and distribute exceptions for follow-up, purpose-built analytics, and reports with dashboards to display trends and anomalies. So this is just a software that will help her kind of come up with her internal audit plan. This is a new thing for us. We've not had any internal audit software or an internal audit program. So this is new. This is, since this is a web-based system, I've asked IT to look over it for the security issues. Pat has commented that he is comfortable with that. I also asked the county counselor's office to look over it. This is not a traditional contract in that you sign, you as a commissioner will sign for the county, but once we, it is a contract in that once we click that button for the terms, we are accepting for the county that. So that's why I wanted to present it to you for approval.
Okay. Betty, this has been a recommendation of the external auditor for some time. Is that my understanding, or not? To have internal audits?
Not
Or
that I'm
have we-
aware of.
No?
No.
No? Maybe it was the past financial administrator that was working on it, and we're just to this point. But explain for those of us who aren't CPAs, and the difference between the two external and internal auditors.
Well, the external auditors are basically looking at the numbers. How do I want to say this? At a snapshot time,
Okay.
as of December 31 at the end of the year, and
Okay.
the numbers that are presented in the reports.
Mhm.
An internal auditor is looking more at processes, more at internal controls, at efficiencies, those types of things. Where an external audit is more verifying the numbers, verifying they look at processes too. I don't want to say they don't. They look at the processes, but they're more verifying the financial records,
Okay.
the financial statements. where an internal audit is looking at all of the, the procedures, the controls, the inner workings, how it can be done more efficiently. Are there controls in place that need to be?
Okay.
Is that?
It helps.
Okay.
It helps.
Good.
It helps. Further questions,
And
Commissioner Archer?
I did know all that, by the way. Yeah, I looked at the documentation, and this contract, I mean, it looks like it satisfies all our needs at a very reasonable cost, number one. And number two, I wanted to compliment our financial administrator for implementing a program of internal audit. From my perspective, I think this is something that's a great idea, and I'm just happy we're moving forward with it. So I did want to compliment you and thank you so much for moving forward with the internal auditing program. So with that, I'll make a motion to approve.
It's a motion to approve by Commissioner Archer.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item I3, consider approval of membership to the Association of Local Government Auditors for Sarah Crick at a cost of $180.
Okay, this I'm asking approval for a membership for Sarah, our internal auditor. And there again, this is a new position and a new thing. So I think by a membership in this organization, it will give her some tools that will help her get started. Then, then at that point we can reevaluate it each year, whether it's helpful or not. But especially in this initial stage, I think that not only the resources that are available, but there's a quarterly publication that she can use. There are some tools online with this organization. It is the Association of Local Government Auditors. So I do think it will be helpful for her.
Improvement, there's always a cost as well.
Yes, and the cost is $180.
$180. And will you review this after a year,
Yes.
Betty, to
Yes.
make sure it's beneficial?
And Sarah is here if you have any questions.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll move approval of the request.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Bueller, second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item I4, consider approval of Home Rule Resolution Number HR 2013-6, removing item A6 from HR 2011-9, which states during December, all departments must pay invoices via direct pay, providing all other applicable criteria is followed.
This is a year-end planning item that I have here. And all I'm doing is I'm taking the current purchasing resolution. I just want to remove this one item from it. In the past, in December, they have used direct pay as the means for all the invoices. Since the time that this resolution was established, we have started attaching the image of the invoice to the purchase order, and I think that's helpful in the reports that you have when you look at your vouchers. We would not be able to do that with the direct pay, and to me that would be taking a step backwards. So what I want to do is just continue with our current processes, and that will be used all year long. But there will be definite cutoff dates that they will have to adhere to, and we are currently having meetings with the different departments to talk about those cutoff dates, to talk about how we will handle those. So, this is just one little step of what I want to do for year end. I am evaluating the whole purchasing resolution, not only the purchasing resolution, but the travel and that, and the county clerk is working with me on that, and we're kind of doing that. So this is not in lieu of that. This is just in addition. This is just for our year-end planning for this year.
Right. It's a home rule resolution, so do we,
First reading.
so we can put it on again for Thursday. Okay. Betty, the question on the purchasing resolution, is there any chance that we can get that finished prior to the end of the year so that when we start out 14,
I would like to,
Yeah, I think
and
that
that's a
would
goal.
be really
Yeah,
helpful.
yeah, but I wanted to,
Yeah, this is year-end, and then you're
This
gonna
is-
cover some of the year-end practices also in the department
at the
head
department head
meeting
meeting,
on
yes.
Thursday as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And we are also having, we have had one meeting with the people in each department that handle accounts payable.
Okay.
And then we're having another one tomorrow, just so we can kind of address all the issues that, questions, the issues, so we can kind of all be on the
Yeah.
same page.
I just think starting out fresh in 2014 to have
I
that
agree.
would be helpful for all of us. Okay, thank you.
Item I-5, consider approval of resolutions number 2013-146 through 2013-171, authorizing the issuance of credit cards for official business for the purchasing specialist and 25 employees of the Parks and Recreation Department.
Okay, the first item on this is a resolution for a credit card for Michelle Hanshaw, who is in my department, who is our purchasing specialist. And she currently, she uses this for any purchases that she needs for any of the departments. So that is the first one. Then we would go on to the Parks and Rec. There is one I need to pull from their resolutions. Resolution 2013-157 needs to be pulled. And by doing that, Parks and Rec will be reducing their total credit cards from 47 that they currently have to 24. So I want to commend them for working on that and really, narrowing down who actually needs these cards. So
Very good.
this is our last group of credit cards that we will be replacing, from our old system, our old banking relationship to our new UMB relationship.
Great.
Motion to approve the resolution.
Second?
It's a motion by Commissioner Archer, a second by Commissioner Cook, and that's with the exception of that one
Yes.
resolution. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Item 5, administrative communications.
Just a reminder that we do have a department head and elected officials meeting at 11 o'clock on Thursday in these chambers. The agenda, we'll get that out here today yet.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
The town hall meeting tonight?
Oh, yes, at 5:30, and it's at the Holiday Building. It's the city's discussion of the half-cent sales tax. I do know that there will be several county staff that will be available, and all of us, I think, are planning to be there as well. Rich Eckert is giving a historical perspective of the tax as he did in our meeting when we had discussion about the half-cent sales tax. So, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I did want to remind the employees that open enrollment, it began last Friday, and the meetings, if they want to talk to one of our representatives from one of our, for medical, Blue Cross, or MedTrack, or RX Carrier, anybody like that, we will be having meetings Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week. And Wednesday, we will be at the DOC, Department of Corrections, from 8:30 to 11:30 and from 1 to 4. Thursday, we will be at the Health Agency from 8 to 11, at the Law Enforcement Center from 1 to 4, and Friday, I get up and be at the North Annex at 6:30 in the morning. So that will be from 6:30 to 10:30, and then we will be back at the courthouse from 1 to 4. So
Okay.
just we're hoping, most of the employees do use the employee online enrollment, and it's wonderful. And also, we had there was an IRS ruling. IRS and the Department of Treasury had a wonderful, wonderful ruling on Thursday last week. And I sent an email out to all the employees, but I want to get this out anyway. They made a determination that under a flexible spending account, prior to this ruling, if you put $500 or say $1,000 in your account and you withdrew for your prescriptions or your office calls or whatever, and if you had $300 of that 1,000 left at the end of the year and you had no other expenses to use, you just lost it, the use it, lose it plan. They changed that, and it's effective immediately, and we are having our carrier, our ASI, change our plan, that if anything up to $500 can be carried over to the next year. So that's a wonderful, we have had no control over that at this
Yeah.
point in time, so this
Yeah.
is a wonderful
It's a
thing.
good change.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So, anybody that has anything up to 500, they can carry it over, and so that's great.
Very good. Thanks for that information. Next item, executive session.
Item 6, executive session.
And we do have a need for non-elected personnel and employee-employer relations for a period not to exceed 10 minutes.
Can we add attorney-client relationship as well?
We can. For 10 minutes still?
Yes.
Okay. That's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll
Discussion?
say, who will be attending the meeting for employee-employer relation?
I believe John Thummel, and I haven't been told anyone else. I'm looking for John. Where is he? I'm sorry.
Could I add the financial administrator to that
Sure.
meeting also?
Mhm.
I think that'd be helpful.
All those in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. No action anticipated that I'm aware of. They beat Northwest.
I know.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they handle Northwest.
You're good.
We are good. Okay, we are back in session. No action required. We are adjourned. Thank you. Cindy, the wedding looked like it was